We New Yorkers used to tolerate him when he was just another grubby real estate hustler masquerading as a big shot, a two-bit playboy lying his way into the tabloids. But around the country, people who didn't know him, as we did, started to support him. They bought into his bullshit. That's why I needed to be involved and wanted to be involved in the new Biden-Harris ad, because it shows the violence of Trump and reminds us that he'll use violence against anyone who stands in the way of his megalomania and greed. But it's a coward's violence. Do you think Trump ever threw a punch himself or took one? This guy who ran and hid in the White House bunker when there were protesters outside? No way. He doesn't get blood on his hands. No, he doesn't. He directs the mob to do his dirty work for him. When Trump ran in 2016, it was like a joke. This buffoon running for president. No, never could happen. We'd forgotten the lessons of history that showed us other clowns who weren't taken seriously until they became vicious dictators. With Trump, we have a second chance, and no one is laughing now. This is the time to stop him by voting him out once and for all. We don't want to wake up after the election saying, "What, again? My God, what the hell have we done?" We can't have that happen again.
Let's go, let's go. Straight up. Are you on SB's to the left, list? Are you on SB's list?
We step to the side right here. Step to the side.
You're not going to intimidate. That's what Trump does, to try to intimidate. We have to fight back.
You're washed
We're trying to do it all. We're trying to be gentlemen in this world, the Democrats. You are gangsters. You are gangsters.
You're washed up.
Fuck you.
You're a little punk. You're a softy. You're a nobody.
All right, y'all, here we go again with this crybaby himself, Robert De Niro. So at this point, Joe Biden is willing to do anything. They are willing to do anything at this point. So now he's going to try to bring out Robert De Niro to talk crap about Donald Trump. And then they doing it outside the courthouse, outside the hush money case courthouse in New York. This right here is just crazy. Y'all see how Joe Biden and his entire team is panicking right now, trying to bring a Hollywood actor to talk crap about Donald Trump? That's why we put that at the beginning of the clip. I want y'all to see how De Niro just made a fool of himself. You can even see Trump supporters going off on him. They weren't trying to hear that crap that he's talking about. Then he's sitting there talking and got a liar right there behind him. This right here just don't make no sense at all, but we definitely finna go ahead and dive straight into this because Donald Trump's team, his team, responded to all the crap that Robert De Niro just said. So we definitely finna dive straight into it. Make sure y'all please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. Shout out to the one that always watches the entire video. I appreciate all of you that do that. All right, so like I said, make sure you please hit that like button as you come in, subscribe so you can stay up to date. And let's listen to this legendary response by Donald Trump's team, because they was not playing around with Robert De Niro.
Saying Biden-Harris. So why the change? Why is Joe Biden now making this a campaign event after months of weaponizing the legal system against President Trump? Because Joe Biden's numbers are in the tank. The headline for today in Politico very simply said, Dems in freakout over Joe Biden. Joe Biden is losing nationally, is losing in every single battleground state, and President Trump's numbers continue to rise. And the best that Biden can do is roll out a washed-up actor.
Oh.
And don't worry, my remarks will be shorter than The Irishman. I won't make you suffer for 3 hours. But
wow.
The best they can do is roll out a washed-up actor. Last week, President Trump spoke in the Bronx, where he had over 25,000 people show up to rally around him. And the best the Biden campaign could do was put out a web video with Robert De Niro. There is nothing behind the Biden campaign. Their numbers are in the toilet. Kamala Harris is a terrible alternative and is all an attempt to try to turn around the Biden campaign. Now, what's happening here in Manhattan? We're in closing arguments for the Biden trial. We've been here for 6 weeks. Nobody has said that President Trump did anything wrong. We have a highly conflicted judge with an unconstitutional gag order, and everybody sees this case for what it is. In fact, the New York Post this morning, with the headline for Jonathan Turley, as Trump trial comes to close, DA's flimsy case is nothing to brag about. Everybody knows this case is complete garbage.
Yes, it is.
President Trump did nothing wrong. This is all politics. If you don't think this is politics, then why do the Democrats wheel out a retread like Robert De Niro to try to change the subject? You could see the look on the Biden campaign staffers' faces. They knew this was a bad idea. They didn't want to be here. But somebody at Central Command told them that everything is going down the tubes for Joe Biden. And I hand it over now to Caroline Levitt.
What you just heard from is a desperate and failing and pathetic campaign who knows that they are losing. Joe Biden's sending his campaign outside of this criminal courthouse. It is a full-blown concession that this trial is a witch hunt that comes from the top, comes from Joe Biden, and he is using a far-left district attorney in this city, Alvin Bragg. This case would have been laughed out of any other courtroom in America. Legal scholars on both sides of the aisle, even liberal legal scholars, agree there is no crime, there is no case, but Joe Biden knew he could use Alvin Bragg, who is sitting in that courthouse today, wasting away the tax dollars of the hardworking people of this city to go after Joe Biden's political opposition. And the man overseeing this case is a corrupt and highly partisan and crooked judge who is highly conflicted for reasons that President Trump can't even talk about, because this judge imposed an unconstitutional gag order on the former president of the United States and the leading frontrunner in this election. This is a disgrace. President Trump has been locked up in that courtroom for 6 weeks, but guess what? The American people see through this witch hunt and this scam, and that's why President Trump continues to rise in the polls. That's why he pulls...
And that's exactly right. He's continuing to rise in the polls while they sitting here lying on him, trying to keep him in these courtrooms. And just like what the man from Donald Trump team said, they're going to wheel out a washed-up actor that try to talk crap about Donald Trump. So Joe Biden is trying to use Robert De Niro to see if him using Robert De Niro is going to help him out in the polls. Nobody cares about what an actor say, a man that had to read off a script his entire life. Who cares about what Robert De Niro has to say? He ain't important. He talking about why is Donald Trump here? Talking about New York is his place. Why is Donald Trump here? He need to go somewhere. No, you need to go somewhere. Because this has nothing to do with you, Robert De Niro. Why you inserting yourself with somebody as crooked as Joe Biden? Won't you tell Joe Biden why is he leaving these borders open? Won't you ask Joe Biden why inflation is so high? Gas prices, food prices. Won't you ask him about that, Robert De Niro? Won't you just do that? But yeah, so Joe Biden, they decided to do this, to think this right here will be a good idea to go outside the courthouse where Donald Trump is at and have Robert De Niro sit there and talk crap about him, calling him all type of names. And that was Robert De Niro was doing, calling Donald Trump all type of names. He's a threat to democracy. We can't vote Trump in. He don't need to be president anymore. What we gonna do if he become president? All this crap. Donald Trump is gonna win Robert De Niro whether you like it or not. So it don't really matter. No matter what you say, Donald Trump is going to win, and you know it. So that's the reason why Joe Biden, they just at this point, they just throwing everything at the wall to see what's going to stick. That's what they trying to do. What next actor he going to bring out next? What next actor is Joe Biden going to try to bring out next to think that's going to flip the poll numbers or something? That's not going to flip the poll numbers. That's the reason why Trump team right now is straight going off. They just straight ripped Robert De Niro and Joe Biden for what they trying to do. We ain't stupid. Let's get back to it.
People see through this witch hunt and this scam, and that's why President Trump continues to rise in the polls. That's why he pulls a crowd of more than 25,000 in the deep blue Bronx. That's why he pulls a crowd of more than 100,000 in deep blue New Jersey. Everywhere he goes, everyday Americans, not elitist, out-of-touch Hollywood actors like Robert De Niro, who have no idea the real problems that people in this city and across this country are facing. President Trump is backed by the hardworking men and women of this country, and I could not help but laugh when Joe Biden's spokesperson actually came out here and accused President Trump of being the threat to democracy. Joe Biden is the real threat to democracy.
Say it again. Joe Biden is the true and the real threat of democracy. Trying to blame that on Trump. I mean, won't you ask him about that, Robert? Won't you ask him about these wars that's going on? Won't you ask Joe Biden about that? Donald Trump didn't let no wars go on. That didn't happen. Inflation, all that wasn't high when Donald Trump was in office. So how is Donald Trump a threat to democracy? Joe Biden is the threat to democracy. And we all know that. We all know that.
Here and accused President Trump of being the threat to democracy. Joe Biden is the real threat to democracy. He is weaponizing our justice system. Look at all of you. This is a communist show trial. There are real problems in America, and you are all out here covering this because Joe Biden is weak, he's pathetic, he's a threat to democracy, not only with this weaponization of our justice system, but with his wide open border invasion that is allowing a mass invasion of illegal people into this country. Terrorists, criminals, our economy is in shambles, we are heading towards World War III. Those are the issues real Americans care about. That is why President Trump is going to win this election, and ultimately he will be vindicated of this sham crooked trial because he has the truth on his side and he is an innocent man. And here's my colleague Stephen Shaw.
Let's go.
Make no mistake, this is election interference of the highest order. Crooked Joe Biden and his campaign are in complete freak-out mode. And that's why they've gone back on the word, and now they've gone in bed with a highly conflicted judge. And now they're making a political mockery of this entire thing. The fact remains that President Trump will overcome. He'll fight these charges up and down, and there's nothing to stop the truth from coming out. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, everybody. President Trump will speak to the courthouse media when a court adjourns at approximately 4:30. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, there we go right there. There we go right there. You see Trump team, they spoke up. And a lot of people that I was hearing saying that Melania was not happy about what Robert De Niro was saying about Donald Trump because he said a lot of things that was false. And you can just see that Robert De Niro just has a hate for Donald Trump. He just has a hate for this man, just throwing out stupid allegations. Donald Trump been charged with this. They charge him for that. Just saying a lot of crazy stuff. The man just has a strong hate for Donald Trump. So he's willing to just say anything to try to make Donald Trump look bad. And I'm telling you now, Robert De Niro, all these leftists, they are just pissed off that Donald Trump is able to go to like these blue states and pull in that many people to watch him talk. Over 25,000 in the Bronx, New Jersey, over 100,000. They don't like that. You know why? Because Joe Biden can't pull those type of numbers. He never will. And they know it. So they trying to put much as dirt on Donald Trump's name as they can to try to help flip the polls. So this is what Joe Biden is doing now. He finna try to go out and get like these big time actors. This is what he gonna try to do, get these big time actors and try to get them to come on his team and endorse him to see what all they fans vote for him. So at this point, they willing to do anything right now. And it's not working. But like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.